Yes and no. Okay. Cos squared pi over 4 minus sine squared pi over 4. You could do this in two different ways. Pi over 4 is on your ply plate. You know that cos of pi over 4 is root 2 over 2. So A, you could use your pi plate and say this is the same as root 2 over 2 squared minus root 2 over 2 squared, which, mental math, this isn't hard. It's 0. Or you could use the identity that this matches up with cos 2 theta. And so you could say that it's equal to cos of 2 times pi over 4, which simplifies to cos of pi over 2, which is what is the x coordinate at pi over 2? 0. Yeah, perfect. In this case, the first one's better. In our second example here, it won't be better. Okay? So, I'm going to erase this. Everybody good? Yes? In our second example, I'm going to draw the line here. I'm going to do it both ways. Method number 1, you could figure each of these things out, right? Pi over 6 is root 3 over 3, so we'd have root 3 over 3 squared minus 1. This is option 1, and then you just have to use your skills with fractions to write that as a single fraction. Not bad, doable. Option 2 is look at your formula for tan. Our formula for tan, though, tan of 2 theta is 2 tan theta over 1 minus tan squared theta. Or on the form up there it has alphas. Doesn't matter which letter when you're writing out a formula. Does this match our expression over there? No. Why? Because it has a tan squared minus 1. We have a 1 minus tan squared. So what you could do is you could take this 2 tan pi over 6 over and factor out a negative to get 1 minus tan squared, pi over 6. And in a fraction, some knowledge about negatives and fractions. Are you aware that if you have 1 over negative 2, that's the same as negative 1 over 2, which is the same as negative 1 over 2? All of those fractions are the same thing. So what am I going to do with this little negative out front? Just put it out front of the whole thing. So again, some knowledge of basic fractions sometimes can get lost when you're looking at something large. So this whole thing is going to be negative tan of 2 times pi over 6. Which equals negative tan of pi over 3, which is negative root 3. So we had to do a little bit more manipulation at the beginning to make our formula work, but our final answer was much easier to get than having to simplify all of this. Okay? Questions for this one? 4, 5, and 6.